My name is Megan Anderson. I am 21 years old. I work at Sunshine Preschool in the 3-year-old room. I'm currently going to school to be a nurse. I was going to TCU and now I'm going to UTA. I first heard about roller derby. I was actually at the mall with my mom, and there was a girl there, her name's Dala Billen. She skates roller derby and she was doing my makeup, and I asked her what she did in her free time, and she's like, oh, my roller derby, I do roller derby. I was like, oh my God, like I have to figure out about this, and I started coming to practices and I fell in love.
What got me into roller derby was a random flyer sent to me in a drive-through tube at a credit union. I didn't go to the fundraiser because I was scared. I was actually a very shy person at the time. And I did end up calling her, and her name was Desi. It turned out her skate name was Desi Deckham. She told me that it's basically girls skating around hitting each other. And I was like, well, I'm not really into hitting people per se. She was like, just show up to a practice, you're gonna love it. I just went to practice. It happened to be in my hometown where I lived in Haltom City at the skating rink that I grew up skating at. So I figured it's worth it just to show up and watch. So I went and watched. There were maybe 15 to 20 people out on the rink, on the floor, and just basically learning how to skate. I didn't see a whole lot of contact because the league was still getting started out and there were a lot of girls still were on rental skates. Some of them didn't even have helmets yet. So everyone was basically just, getting the gist of skating before we really got into the sport. So I still didn't even really know what it was, but I decided it was for me.
So the main concept of derby is that it's, in a way, a race. They're broken into shifts called jams that can be at most 2 minutes long. There are blockers and there are jammers. Jammers line up behind the blockers and all are released at the beginning of that jam. Once the jammers are able to make their way through the pack, they begin a scoring pass, and after that time, every opponent they pass earns them a point, earns their team a point. So you can understand how, as a blocker, it's the thing that's unique about derby is you're playing offense and defense simultaneously. You're trying to get your jammer through so that she's earning points. So you're clearing the way, blocking somebody else out of the way so that she can pass and earn points for you. At the same time, you're trying to preclude the other jammer from getting through and scoring points against you. So it's a fast action game where, as I said, offense and defense is played simultaneously. Penalties can have a big impact because it reduces your ability to play offense and defense and block and do those things that are necessary.
A derby name is kind of like a moniker or a nickname that you get to choose for yourself that everyone else has to call you. A lot of times your teammates and league mates will end up just shortening it anyway and calling you whatever they want to. But it can also kind of feel like your superhero name.
My derby name is Carmen Get Me. You pick your name, you also get a number. I'm number 33. Some people do like their birth year, some people do like their favorite number. I like the number 3, so I did 33. I did not come up with that name. I was having a really hard time thinking of my name. And there is a woman, her name is PK, or Pound Cake is what her full name is. She came up with it and thought it would be really cute for me because she sees me being a jammer and being really good at it. And she was like, oh, it'd be so cute. I want you to have this name. And it grew on me so much that I picked it. Hardest thing about preparing for roller derby, I would say preparing yourself mentally to get hit hard. Like, you're gonna get hit and you're gonna fall down a lot. So just prepare yourself physically and mentally for that.
Learning to throw your body in unnatural ways and dealing with the pain, getting back up and saying, I want to do this another day is the hardest thing I've ever done.
You try out, and once you've been assessed, you get told yes or no, you get put into an alternate pool, and then from then you can try out for a team and all that stuff.
The process of getting into our league, we have tryouts. They're right now being held quarterly and we typically have about 30 12-ish girls that try out. Everywhere from being able to skate like a pro, I mean, this person's born on skates, to this person can't even stand on skates. You get everything at tryouts.
You have to study the rules, the penalties. You have to study like the widths of your numbers on your jersey, and just minor details of stuff that's kind of important. Like when you play, you have to have your number on your arm, on the back of your jersey, and like on your helmet if you want it to be, but it's not necessary. So you study all that stuff, and then you have an assessment test that you have to pass, which is physical and written. So it's all the penalties and how you score points and what blockers do and jammers and all that stuff.
Much of the decision, I think, is based on safety. We want to make sure that the individual is safe, but also the players around them are safe. We want to make sure that they're able to perform certain basic skills to accept them onto the league, and then they'll have to perform some slightly more advanced skills before we allow them to actually scrimmage and be eligible to be on a team, those types of things.
You bout assess, which makes sure that you're not a hazard on the track, you're not going to fall, and you can handle yourself when you're hit. I have done that, and now I'm waiting to get picked up for a team, which makes you feel like the little kid that never wants to get picked for a team. You're just like, well, okay, I'm just going to wait until somebody wants me. Waiting sucks. It feels like nobody wants you, and you're just like, I want someone to love me, and I want somewhere to call home. I want a team that I can call my own. It's really antsy.
What does roller derby mean to me? Now, athleticism. I'm very active now, and I love it. I feel great. I'm healthier than I've ever been in my entire life. And I was always kind of an active kid in sports, so I really appreciate getting to do that, and it's actually really fun. And I get to do it with friends. When I was in athletics in middle school, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends with me. I actually had a lot of rivals that I didn't understand that kind of bullied me. But now, there are just so many cool women. It's a nice segue to my second reason why I love roller derby, is because of the community.
Everybody acts like a huge family. Everybody takes care of each other. We have a Google group, so everybody can talk to one another and keep everything posted. People are always helping each other out, like, oh, I need my trucks changed. Can somebody help me? And, stuff like that. Everybody's really sweet. And you think derby's going to be, like, really mean people, and they're not nice, but it's the total opposite.
Certain stigma about it, that everybody has tattoos and everybody drinks and parties and wants to beat people up. But we do have teachers, we have attorneys, we have ER nurses, we have a huge gamut of people that you would never think, seeing them on the streets, you would never believe that they did this.
Most roller derby leagues, and Dallas Derby Devils is no exception, are do-it-yourself leagues. So when you talk about promotions, when you talk about marketing, talk about production, all of that is done within the league. So what you see is a large number of young women who have full-time jobs, have families, have all the trappings of life, and are committed to attending practices, doing the things that are required for promoting the league, for putting on about all those things. It all happens from within the league, from the skaters and a small host of volunteers, of which we are a part. It's really a vibrant organization of volunteerism for something that people really care about and want to see succeed.
It's a lifestyle. It's not just a sport. It's something that you devote your whole life to. I see myself doing derby as long as I can, as long as my body will hold up, as long as my schedule will cooperate. So, I don't know. It's fun, and everybody's super nice. I have talked to people that say, oh, I've left and came back. I couldn't not do it because I love it so much. And I have a feeling if I ever quit, I would definitely come back eventually.